Welcome to the Museum of Aquarium and Pet History. How do you like this ugly rusty cage? So this cage was in my local town. It was in like a furniture store that sold like old furniture that people donated or whatnot. And I went in there with my son and he goes, "Hey Dad, there's an old bird cage over there." And I kind of look over and I see this rusty, looks like a crown cage. And I'm like, "Nah, I'm not interested." And he goes, "Yeah, but it has green feeders." I'm like, "Hello, now you're talking." So I have not pulled these out since I got this cage. But what's amazing, now you probably want to know, how much did you pay for it? Well, the cage with all the feeders was $75. Not bad. So there is a made in Japan with the name of the company, pretty interesting, porcelain feeder. Here's a little for grit, made in Japan. Never seen a little square one like that. That's pretty cool. Now this all came in this cage, which is really cool. So there is a green depression glass bird bath. And I don't think I have in the museum a green depression glass bird bath. And there is a milk glass, not porcelain, but milk glass bird bath. You know, some days it's just your lucky day. You know, you get up, you go get your coffee, you're driving around, you decide to go to some little cheesy furniture store. I shouldn't say cheesy, it's a nice store actually. And you find stuff like that. You find this incredibly beautiful green depression glass from the 1930s. That's why they call it depression glass, because it was made in the 1930s during the Depression. I know Depression started late 1928, but it spilled over into the 30s. So you could tell it's just gorgeous, just gorgeous. All right, did we get more than one? Well, actually there's two so far. Now this was all in this cage. Another porcelain feeder. Ooh, depression glass bird feeder. Not as nice as the other one, not as bright. That's all right. Okay, I'm fighting with this cage. There we go. Number 3. 3 depression glass bird feeders, 2 bird baths, 1 depression glass, 2 porcelain feeders, and a very unusual square grit dealy bobber. And that, my friends, is all she wrote. Am I going to restore this cage? No. It does have a little nice redwood handle though. That's kind of cool. But some cages need to just stay the rust bucket that they are. Oh, this stand has a green stripe. Interesting. Anyways, all right, so I want to tell you one thing. This is Zenco products, or Zenco products, bird meal set. And these are lusterware feeders. You can see how beautiful they are. They call that lusterware. And there's your little grit made in Japan. Now, I was talking to a birdcage friend of mine, and we're talking about the Art Cage Company because we can't really figure out who they are. And I still have some theories about Art Cage. When I've seen them with the different attachments. Like they have the little Chinese man attachment, they have the little owl attachment for their cages. And they also have the owl feeder and the canary feeder on the inside, which says to me, you know, made in Japan. So I'm wondering if the Art Cage Company, because if they are 1930s, 1940s, which I think they are, I wonder if Zenco actually imported those cages from Japan. You know, Japan was, especially after the war, they were definitely hurting for manufacturing. So that's just a theory. We do have a cool little swing with this little attachment. What's cool about it is the attachment, actually. And then one other one that I thought was really interesting. I've never gotten this one before. This came from auction. It didn't go cheap because a lot of other people wanted it as well. But that's a jadeite. It's actually a type of milk glass, but because it looks like jade, they call it jadeite. And this is this is one of the old style of feeders from the 1800s. So it could be as late as 1920s, but definitely a jadeite feeder, and one that's very rare. And here's a black one. So you want to. The reason I'm thinking 20s now is because a lot of the Asian cages would have jadeite or black on them, which was very typical of the Japanese style. All right, I think that's it for today. You guys have a wonderful week, and I'll see you again next week.